Windows Solutions happens to be an out-and-out Linux and open source place. We conduct courses for open source and Linux media. I'm Raghuvar Raj. I'm independent consultant working for defense organizations, working for Xilinx India, working for many other companies. We do take up consulting on open source and embedded systems in open source. What all open source applications come up in the embedded systems, we help all these project teams get into their projects, do their projects. Basically, our work revolves around a lot of applications, a lot of packages of open source and Linux. The core is Linux actually. And then a lot of open source packages being integrated and ported onto an embedded target. So this place, this particular place called Vega, it's the existence of last 4 years. From last 4 years, we're actively involved in porting many applications, in porting diverse kind of applications onto various embedded targets. We have been involved with many companies, we have been involved in training actively. We have taken up a lot of corporate trainings, a lot of in-house trainings and so on. I happen to be in this path for the last 8 years. Last 8 years I'm just doing this. So today's seminar, first a brief objective for this seminar is, this seminar is intended to be an informative seminar about how embedded software is changing. See, when you talk about embedded systems, it's how many of you are completely freshers, non-employees, not working, looking for clarity on the embedded software on 2.0? How many of you are working on maybe Linux? Working on Linux. This seminar is basically, the objective is to look into embedded systems market, how it is right now, how it was earlier, and how it's going to be in future. And if at all one wants to take up embedded systems as a career, what should be its roadmap? How we should start, where we should start, and how we should carry on. That's the whole objective. So, in embedded systems, when you talk about embedded systems, it's about two different areas. There is one entire area of hardware development, chip manufacturing, DSPs, VLSIs, FPGAs, and so on. And there is one side of software implementation. So, I worked mostly, for almost all the 8 years in my career, I worked on the software side. So this seminar, this informative session goes around the software evolution of embedded. And we are not going to talk much about evolution of VLSIs, evolution of FPGAs, and how FPGAs works, how DSPs work, and all that. Right? So we're going to touch upon the software area, how a software developer looks at an embedded system, and how he programs an embedded device. That's our basic objective. So first we'll start this whole thing with some kind of interaction between us. Right? What do you think? What are your views on an embedded system? What exactly do you think an embedded system is? Anyone? You can just put up what are your views. What exactly an embedded device or embedded system means? Is it a PC? No. It's hardware which runs on a software. What it does?
Software is embedded into the hardware.
Software is embedded into a hardware. Okay. What else? Specific applications. Okay. Can you call a PC as an embedded system? No. Can you call a motherboard as an embedded system? Motherboard of the PC? Yes, because it carries some intelligence, isn't it? So basically, when you have a piece of intelligence put into a chip, it's called an embedded system. When you have a piece of software intelligence that is put onto an IC, it's called an embedded system. You put the IC in a mobile phone, you put the IC on a PC, you put the IC into some gadget, it doesn't matter. Basically, it's intelligence inside a silicon chip. That's an embedded system. So this embedded system, I'll first start off with the areas of this. This embedded system, if you look at the job side of this, there are two clear areas. One area of embedded system is entirely hardware. There are a set of jobs which involve design of embedded hardware. Now for that, the skills required are these VLSI, DSPs. You should know about core electronics, you should know about testing these telecom chips, you should know about signal imaging, all that stuff. Right? This is completely a hardware area. The other side of embedded systems, other side of embedded jobs are programming these devices, programming the embedded devices. So that's called the software area. We'll first look into applications of embedded in the general world. How many different types of embedded devices we interact with on a daily basis? Many, isn't it? All the electronic gadgets that we use, almost everything is an embedded device, embedded system, isn't it? So this embedded industry right now is growing in these areas. Areas are, I'll just categorize some areas. There is something called telecom. There is consumer device market. There is the market of automotive industry. Automobile industry, telecom, consumer devices. Consumer devices are all the gaming devices like Xbox, mobiles, the end gadgets that we use as consumers, electronics basically, all these fall into consumer devices. Then we have industrial automation, a lot of robotics here. Automating the process of an industry, of a manufacturing industry, a lot of robotic arms and so on. So that's one area. Then you have an area of satellite communication. Now this is vital in building up defense related equipment for communication. Communication, when I say it's basically I'm talking about internet-oriented communication. These are broad areas. These are the broad areas where embedded devices are heavily used. Embedded system developers are needed. Embedded hardware engineers are needed. Right? These are the job areas that we have. So if you look at now how an embedded device has evolved, how the software into embedded has evolved. If you look at these consumer electronic devices, this side, and if you look at some of the automobile implementations, you'll find the early devices were all mechanical, and then we have these microcontrollers. What are microcontrollers? How do you write the software? What are microcontrollers? They're basically small processors which are specific to a job, which has reduced instruction set. Normal CPUs that we use in PCs, these are called generic processors. They have a rich instruction set, they can carry out varieties of jobs. Whereas when we say microcontroller, it's very much specific. It has a reduced instruction set, isn't it? So if you look at this consumer